Hi, I'm Urvashi Pant, Deputy Editor of Femina. Thank you for joining us for the first of the two-part series of Love Presents Femina Made by You issue. Where you are joining us at the Google Hangouts. Now, while Femina is India's most loved women's magazine, Femina Made by You is a very, very special issue because it is put together by the readers. And partnering Femina on this very special issue is Dove, which is India's both Dove and Femina have always celebrated real women. Real women have always been the inspiration for both these brands. These are women who don't allow anything, any self-doubts to hold them back. And today with us at the Google Hangout, we have one such woman, one such achiever, Pooja Dhingra. She's an entrepreneur who's been spreading a lot of joy with her goodies. She's a pastry chef. She's the owner of Le 15 and the Studio 15 Culinary Center in Mumbai. She also authored a book. It's called The Big Book of Treats. Welcome, Pooja. Welcome to the Google Hangout.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, now we have a lot of questions lined up for you. These questions have all come in from our readers. What we did was that we asked them to send in questions on various social media platforms. So Twitter, Facebook, being filled with questions for you. Everyone wants to know the story of your success. They want to know the challenges that you face. They've known what is the secret ingredient to not only your recipes but also the business. So we have a lot of questions lined up. To ask you these questions, we are today joined by four readers. They're Pooja Dhingra, Bajoria, Ankita, and Rupa, and they will ask your questions. They are four lucky readers. Okay, so I'll start with the question that is being sent in by Sneha Mazumdar on Twitter, and she asked you what made you pick baking over anything.
So I've always been obsessed with chocolate. So growing up, I had this passion for baking and everything. So it was my early was actually making brownies when I was and I just felt that whole, some ingredients, very simple ingredients like butter, sugar, flour, egg, and you can transfer in the oven and then transform. I like to think like magic almost. So it's like, that's how I used to look at it. And I never really thought that it would be a career option. For a very short time after I finished my schooling, I thought I'll do law.
Yeah.
And then I saw the books and I said, this is not for me. Yeah, this is not for me. And I'm kind of a creative person. I like working with my hands. So, then that sort of, I was like, okay, what am I really passionate about? That's how I started.
So you really just followed your heart.
Exactly. Yeah. I said I was doing something. I said this is not for me, and just decided to go for what I really loved.
That's great. So Shivika Gupta also sent in her question on Twitter, and she asked you who or what was your inspiration to start off as an entrepreneur?
For me, I think I've always grown up with family that is into their own business, whether it's my father, mom, uncle, whoever, right? So it was always like sort of kind of I think take for granted that that's something that I will do.
Okay.
I could never really think of like an office format or I saw my dad setting up his own business and I saw like beneficial and all this side of it. So I think I've been preparing for it ever since I was little.
So how did that little thing happen?
Why? It was just when I was 16, I suddenly got just lawyer, and I started working towards it. And I mean, it was, I think I started. I just
Tell me, did it come easy to you, the whole working and being down?
no, it hasn't been as easy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of experimentation. You have to be confident in your beliefs, in what your ideas, kind of you have to have that whole learning process. You can't now really a lot of
That's not for all of you. You have to know the rules before you break them. Okay, coming on to the next question. This is from someone again on Twitter. Her handle is not Anki. And her question is, what were some of the biggest challenges? How did you?
I not on. So every single day is a challenge. I mean, there's never like one specific kind of thing. I really started very young, so 20 the challenges I face, the ones I face. But I do face that every day. So whether it's something just something nice, planning aspect, but you don't know what's coming your way. That when I just started, I used to, I think I almost like I didn't expect this, I didn't expect that, and then a family friend told me that you have to like tell yourself that you're going to do everything today, and then prepare for things wrong, and you don't happen. That's
Okay. And how prepared were you when you went to look of the finest country?
yeah.
What were the kind of challenges?
So I was studying in 4 years before I moved. So I think the I was always, but it was very I learned uh, something that I wasn't prepared. I need to realize that I need to kind of was not an environment where I'm comfortable with. I think the first year was working, so I did continue. Before I left, I had no idea what to do. So we all the place where we were beautiful like the first few months was difficult to adapt. Once I started getting hang of it, we had working better.
Do you remember any incidents from those times that now become sort of life lessons?
Oh, so many. I think I just worked with students, whether it was during my internships or in school. And I always because I have had one really one bad one. I think I've learned more from one that was bad how you do want to the way that I was treated, the kind of work that I had to do. And just I think make me better or leave a job better. I can leave my I know that this is how I need to. I think that just kind of and bad ones sometimes work out for the best.
It's a great thought to have. You set up your business at a very young age, right? At that age, a lot of us don't even know where we want to go. So, what gave you the confidence to start a business that was, not, if not uncommon, a little unusual? So what gave you the confidence to go ahead and
People look at youth as, especially in India, everyone thinks that youth is like, but I always thought that youth is a strength, right? Because you don't have the life experiences to tell you what you can or cannot do.
right,
So you can do everything, right? Because you're starting.
blank
Yeah,
canvas?
exactly. So there was no one like if you were to ask me to do something today, I'll have 50 reasons why it won't work because I've
Right.
lived through it. But when I started, I was like I can do everything, and I think that just really kind of a little bit of confidence mixed with a little bit of just being naive kind of helped. Um, but yeah, it's just my father always says that whenever you want something, just have to risk it, and you have to be confident enough to take risks.
So you just have to go out and sort of
Yeah,
start something, right?
if you're sure about your idea, if you really know, if you know that this is what you want to do, then there's no thinking that it won't work or I can't do this. There's no way to think that. You can't put any negative ideas in your head. So once you've decided that this is what I want to do, then you have to do it.
Right. I'm going to get into first reader, but before that, I have one more question for you.
So,
And you've just come back from a very sort of hectic assignment, and I'm sure your days. You said you work 14, 15 hours in a day when you were studying, but those are the kind of hours which you keep even now on certain days. So with it's so hectic. How do you take care of yourself? Your skin looks amazing. Your hair looks fabulous. So what's your beauty routine?
while I sit here, my back is kind of killing me. No, beauty routine. I mean, I don't really do much. It's just, most of the day spent in the kitchen, so there's very bare minimum that you are allowed to do. But yeah, just love chocolate. Chocolate mixed with yoga, exercise. I run a lot. I think that just like natural ways really help. And yeah, I mean, there's not too much.
How does chocolate work for your hair?
Butter.
All right. So we get in our first reader in Shamika. Shamika, who sent in her question on Twitter. Hi, Shamika.
Hi Pooja, hi Urushi.
Hi, welcome to the Google Hangout. Shamika, please ask Pooja your question.
So I would like to know who is your role model and is there any woman who inspires you?
So yeah, I do actually have quite a few role models growing up, men and women both. And I think my biggest ones were my parents. I still believe they were positive and working with the best that I really needed. My mom is very strong. Uh, Nothing in the way that I get myself. And I always, she also makes patience, which I think is something that I'm always fighting and trying to be and really that's something that I really look up to and like, but I think I would say mothers in the
Thanks, Shamika. Thank you so much for the question. So how does her mother look at you?
I mean, she was happy out, right? And what I'm doing. So, over times, so she's always pushed me. I wasn't coming up with first thing. So it matter. But there was no question of what you want for yourself, and that was like what that was in my mind. Yeah, I knew that I wanted to do personality. I wanted to France. I think it was her, just like my father in the beginning, not, but my mother who kind of and now, she tells my dad, see, it was the best decision.
That's amazing. Does she still play a huge role in your
She
everyday
does.
business?
If, um, so not really in the business itself,
Uh-huh.
but just like support system. So if anything goes wrong or, anything that I need help with, she's there and I always call her. That's my request.
The wisdom,
All the wisdom, yes.
Okay, time to get in our next speaker. David is joining us. David also sent a question on. She sent a question on Facebook. David, hi.
Hi.
Hi, David. Pooja is waiting for your question. What's your
Hi.
question?
My question to Pooja is that what are the qualities in a successful entrepreneur according to you?
Holidays. So I think there are many entrepreneurs have different qualities. I think one quality that or that, that we see across all is really to begin with. I think discipline, passion, commitment, uh, and confidence. These four things are really important across. And it doesn't matter who you look at or what they do, you'll see that these qualities are found in entrepreneurs. Yeah.
I hope you made notes of that, David.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Devnidhi, for your question. I've wanted to ask you this. All of us have a dream. All of us want to go out and achieve what we really want to do. You have done that. I think the part with it is failure. That we will not be able
Yeah.
to achieve what we really
Yeah.
want. So how did you overcome that? Initially, I'm sure you were nervous about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is that it is difficult. Like I was saying, every single day is
Right.
difficult. It's not, it doesn't come easy. I'm not gonna sit and say, oh, it was really simple.
Yeah.
It was a piece of cake. No, it wasn't.
Right.
There are days where you feel like, what am I doing? This is really what I'm. But the thing with with anything that you're starting, it's not success doesn't come overnight, and you
Right.
don't see it coming. It's just that you're working, and suddenly one day it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. One day it's not hard anymore.
All right.
And that's I think the tipping point, right? Most people give up right before that where they hit that point because that's like your that final straw, like when you can't take it anymore. But I think if you just push a little bit, and then that's when it gets easier. That's when you get your strength from.
All right. So if I were to ask you, um, what are the most important lessons that you've learned since you started? It's been 4 years now,
Almost five.
almost
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
So what are the most important lessons that you've learned?
Um, I think when you start running your own business, you want to control, and I'm such a micromanager that I want to control everything. And you just realize that there are things that you can control, and you should focus on that.
Right.
And the things that you can't, you just you learn and you just learn along the way, and you wing it and you manage it. So that's one was that, and I think my just kind of like how you don't look at much of what you but
When you started now, when you look back, how far have you come in terms of having confidence in your product? Or so, how far have you come?
yeah, I mean it just also standing by the there are subjective. So you may love or red or hate it. So as long as you are happy with your product, everything, that's all that should matter. You know you're doing a good job every single day. And that's what I've come to learn. That's where from when I started, if someone would say something about, oh, but this is not good. So, that's something that I kind of make fast.
And we have Ankita is joined us. Ankita, hi.
Hi, Pooja.
Hi.
Hi. Ankita sent her question on Facebook. Ankita, you can ask.
Pooja, I'd like to ask you, what's the best advice you've ever received?
Hi. So, like I was saying, my father when I was growing up, when I was a kid, when I was starting, um, doubts and fears, and that's that's something that you have to know something goes wrong with you, but you have to go in, that kind of positivity. You're not starting a project, and then there are people.
That is pretty much, isn't it? You just have to go out believing that it will happen. Right? That you can't let sort of doubts. Thanks a lot, Ankita.
Thank you.
And we have another reader. Rupa, she sent a question on Instagram. Hi, Rupa.
Hi
How-
Pooja, hi Urushi.
Hi.
Hello.
Rupa, you please ask your question.
Uh, Pooja, I want to know what is your advice to the budding entrepreneurs?
What's your advice to budding entrepreneurs?
So, I think I would say that can't live with it because like that's all you can possible. That's all you can do. I didn't, and that's um, can't live with, can't live with that. They'll always you know that answer to the so don't listen to negativity, don't listen to noise. And just be completely disciplined and just have that, it's not going to be easy. So know that it's not going to be easy, but be disciplined and if you are passionate then for sure you'll eventually be successful.
That's great advice. Also, I'm guessing a lot of hard work considering you live in your kitchen.
Yeah, I mean it was impossible, I I, I was that's not but um, but then that's
Right. You know, a lot of people think it's all about how it is. Put in a lot of hard work. You stay in your kitchen. You a lot of
Gained a lot of
sacrifice.
weight. Yes.
So, thanks a lot, Rupa. I hope got the answer to your question.
Yes, thanks a lot.
All right. One more question is, how does it stand with lots of things to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any days off. So, the only way I do get a day off is when I leave school. So I plan that. So every year I first start with that. I
You
plan,
start the year with
yeah,
take
planning
it.
every 3 months. I'm going to go 5. And then an average day starts at, now, last month I've started
Oh,
on the, but yeah, so I started with, um, so, um, planning work. So it's just I don't even know how my days going to get over. Yeah, it's pretty packed and no 2 days of the same. Just I'm where I need to be.
lovely. Tell me, what are some of the best compliments of entrepreneur?
Um, I think for me, started. I always wanted to set up my own business and start a cafe. It was 1920 and I was on this queue writing out a business plan. And I always write down my goals and plans that I want to achieve. One of the goals that I wrote was false. I didn't know like how many lists we had, but as a kind of I went and I researched all the lists a couple of years ago. But it's so I just put that on my and actually call from one of the it was that for me and now I've gone back and it's it was one that that's gonna be
We have joined in by a lot of uh, people have joined. What do you have to say?
I think that's like I think got to be passionate about something. Always always like that. I always I wanted to know about the study about this and uh, I
Grab your opportunity. That's the advice. One final question. What plans do you have?
thanks always. So I'm in process right now. That's
Good luck with all your dreams, all your goals. And to all our readers who joined us today, yes, keep a successful dream, passionate, and have complete faith and confidence. And remember that it's never ever too late to start. About that, Pooja here, of course, is a perfect example of someone uh, achieve something in mind and Pooja, love for having confidence. Um,
thank you for coming
and
and having me.
With that, we wrap up the first of Google Hangouts. Don't forget to tune in to the next Google Hangout where we will be discussing common topics. We will be giving out details of that hangout on our website, femina.in. Follow us on Twitter at Femina India and comment our Facebook page. You can also get this. Thanks a lot for joining us.